Hi everyone, Professor Patch here. I'm here today to provide you with a very brief preview of our Library Technology 101 course site. Today we're going to begin with how to log into Canvas from any sac.edu page, which is better known as the SAC homepage, which you can see on the screen right now. This sliding gallery of images that are moving across the screen is known as a carousel, and you'll see this highlighting some of the accomplishments of the college, including a new construction project that was just completed to enhance the college's entrance off of 17th Street, just west of Bristol. You'll see that here. This is what it looks like now, right in front of the Johnson Center. Okay, more about Canvas. Canvas, right, which is spelled C-A-N-V as in Victor, A-S, is a learning management system, also known as an LMS. LMSs that you may have heard of before include things like Blackboard, which are still being used at high schools and middle schools. And then I'm also familiar with Class Dojo because my sister is a 5th grade teacher, and that is commonly used in middle schools. So Canvas is a commonly used learning management system in colleges, especially in the state of California. Okay, so just so that everybody knows and can explain what Canvas is, just in case someone asks, what is that? Why are you always talking about Canvas? Okay. To access Canvas, here from the sac.edu homepage, you'll click on the word Canvas at the very top left corner of the page. Okay, you will see the link to Canvas, the link to a campus map if you ever do come on campus, the link to self-service, and a search bar listed at the top of every sac.edu page. You'll also see the same banner with the main menu items for the college listed in this white menu as well. You will be able to access Canvas from any Santa Ana College web page, and that is because this menu with the red border and this white banner remains consistent across the college website. For example, when we click on Neely Library under academic support, you'll see the content of the page changes, but you'll always see the Canvas link at that top left corner. Since we're here, right, this is the library website, and this is where you can search for books and schedule appointments to get help with any of the research you might have to complete for the library technology program or otherwise. Okay, so back to the library homepage, you'll see the link to Canvas is still present here at the top left, and that's what I'm going to use to log on to Canvas right now. Once you log into Canvas using your self-service username and password, that's the same username and password that you use to register for classes. It should start with 2 letters and 5 numbers for your username, and then the password is a default password that gets assigned to you, which you can later change. So once you're in Canvas, you will arrive on your dashboard. I can see here that I'm in my dashboard because this is the menu item that is highlighted in white. On the dashboard, you'll see all of the classes that you're currently enrolled for. My Canvas dashboard looks a little bit different because I'm a professor. You will see a red menu here to indicate that you're in the Santa Ana College Canvas, right? Because that's the school colors, is this red. And then for me, it says published courses because these are courses I'm either teaching or I'm enrolled in. And so for you as a student, you will be able to find what's called a tile for the course that looks just like this. Okay, so go ahead and click the correct course for the semester. And that will bring you into the course homepage, right? When you click on the course tile from the dashboard, you're always going to default into the homepage, okay? Now, before we get into the content of the course or even moving around and navigating the actual course website in Canvas, I do want to direct everyone's attention over to this red vertical menu. Okay, so here you're going to see links to things like your dashboard, right? Let's say you want to back out and return to your list of classes, you would click the dashboard. If you want to see a full list of courses that you've taken in the past, you would use courses. And then very important is the Canvas inbox. It is very important for this course that you know how to access the inbox and use the inbox. And that is because this is going to be the primary method of communication between myself, right, your professor, and students in the course. Also, on your homepage, you want to confirm this with every class that you're taking just to make sure you're in the right place. Your homepage will state the name of the course, right, with the course code and number, the section, and the full name of the course. There are some navigation buttons down here that will take you directly into, for example, the course information module, which is right at the top of the modules page. And then you can also directly link to the student resources module. On the right-hand side, you'll see a to-do list that lists out the assignments and their dates, their due dates, right, that are coming up for the week. You can see here that these first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 assignments are accurate and they are current, right, for week 1. This is what you have to look forward to getting started on as soon as today. Now, to navigate to the core content of this course, right, these modules, as I keep using that word, you're going to click on the modules page. Before we do that, I do want to highlight the announcements page. Right now, it is blank, but I will be sending out announcements on the Monday of each week and then at least one other time on Thursdays. That's going to serve as a reminder for your assignments that are usually due on Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Your syllabus, this is the official document that outlines the expectations for the course, including the course objectives. The course objectives, we have 3 for this class, explain very clearly what you should learn by the time you're done with this course. You will see how that learning happens over the next 16 weeks. As I start to open up the modules, you can see some of the readings from our textbook and the different assignments. Okay, now let's actually look at a few of the modules that are available right now. At the beginning of the modules page, you will see the course information module that says start here. You are expected to read through all of these pages. This is what you need to know to get started with the class and really truly be successful in this course. You'll find information here like the syllabus again, more information about the free online textbook that we'll be using. A common question that I get even before the beginning of the class is, where do I get the textbook? How much is the textbook? What do you mean online? The textbook is embedded into Canvas. You'll see pages from the actual textbook in the modules. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. You'll find more information about how to contact me, college policies, and then a couple of activities that you can do even before the start of the course. The Getting to Know You survey is worth 5 points and asks for information like your preferred pronouns, how long you've been taking classes at Santa Ana College, and some of your preferences when it comes to feedback for the assignments that you submit. You'll also see there is an extra credit opportunity. This is worth 50 points if you successfully complete the SAC request for online success orientation. This is a very important orientation if this is your very first time using Canvas. It shows that it's worth 0 points because that way, whatever I add to that assignment, it's in addition to the expectations for the class. And this, I will award 50 points of extra credit through August 30th. That's the first 2 weeks of class. After that, it kind of loses its purpose. After the course information module, you'll see the student resources module. First on that module is the SAC Student Resources homepage. If you've taken courses using Canvas before, you may have seen professors list different resources in the course information module, but we have moved away from that and we are now storing all of the links to important services like health and wellness, where you can receive free therapy, basically, links to the library, and different student services, right? So it's supposed to be all here organized for students to look through and see what kind of support could I utilize that's provided by the college. Okay, so back to modules. Again, course information at the top. The 5-point survey is here. The extra credit is here. Also, in the student resources module, you're going to find a list of course links and resources. There isn't anything you need to do with this page right now. It's really just here as a reference with the links for some of the websites that we'll be using through the next 16 weeks. I've categorized them in some major categories, including Neely Library web pages, resources from the American Library Association, some of the web pages that we will be referring to from Santa Ana College, and even employment resources that we will use to start to explore jobs in week 6, for example. Back to modules. And so this practice of reading a page and then going back into the modules page, reading a page and going back into the modules page, that's one way to navigate. There's also a next button down here in the right-hand corner that you can use to move through a module. The resource summary is the last page in this very small module that's really just there to link you to those student resources and the additional links. Back to modules, and then you'll find module 1. Our modules are structured so that you see the week, the theme of the week, and the dates. Then you'll find the module 1, for example, introduction, and all of the learning activities, including the embedded textbook chapters. I'll get more into this in the week 1 introductory video. But I also want to show you that future weeks, like week 2, 3, and 4, they are visible, right? Just in terms of like a structure, but the content will not be opened until later in week 1. That's really to help people focus on week 1 because there are a good number of assignments that are due in that first week. Okay, everyone, that concludes our course information, getting started video. You are welcome to start messaging me if you have questions about any of the assignments, even though we're a few days out from the beginning of class. You'll hear more about what is expected of you in week 1 on Monday with Monday's video. And otherwise, I hope you have a good weekend and you feel prepared after watching this video to approach the course. Bye.